click, and load some things. We have Pwndnoob versus Falconhit. Why don't we talk about this one a little bit?
Oh, these two have been going at it so long. They joined the SCL around the same time, and they have been fighting for 3 straight seasons. They've been rising together in the SCL together. They're part of the same generation of players, a generation that focuses more on their opponent than previous generations, more on behavioralism, more on Yomi, more on mind games, more on game planning and strategy as opposed to execution. So again, they've been playing together for 3 seasons now, and the current record between them is 3-3 with 2 ties, deadlocked. And the individual win count in the matchups is 39-36 in favor of Falconhit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just razor thin. They started in Copper together, actually, in Season 2. Noob was the first seed by 1 point over Falconhit, but Falconhit defeats him in the finals 9-4. Pwndnoob wins the promotion match, advances with him. They both skip bronze together because of dropouts and administrative promotions, and they end up in silver together. Same basic thing. This time Falconhit is narrowly the #1 seed, but he again wins in the finals, and it's lopsided again, 8-3 over Noob. But Noob wins another promotion match, and they promote together again. So Pwndnoob is 0-2 in SCL finals, both against Falconhit. I believe he was the runner-up in one of the Summer Cups. He was the runner-up with me and my team in the tag team tournament last October. So he's finished second in his last 4, I believe, competitive events.
Wow.
That is a lot of frustration building up for 3 SCL seasons and a number of other tournaments. As he likes to put it, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But here's his chance on the biggest stage yet to exercise those demons. He was the #1 seed this time too, so he only needs 8 to win this. That could be big given how close they've played in the past.
Yeah. You've got to remember that these championship matches don't have the same crazy overtime that the Challenger division does. If it winds up tied 8-8, win goes to the higher seed.
Right. So given how close their matches have been in the past, that is a big, significant advantage for Noob. He only needs to get to 8. And, given how strong Falconhit is, given how well they know each other, given the crazy meta that has evolved between them over the 3 seasons that they've been playing against each other, one win could be all the difference.
Yep, and I think we are ready to find out how this thing is going to shake down. So, the gold championship between Pwndnoob and Falconhit. Let's get right into the picks and the bans. Falconhit starts out by... Okay, cool. Falconhit starts out by banning, Gallery any 4 of 8. Pwndnoob responds with a ban of Ballroom any 4 of 8. So anything to say about those? You don't want to barrel through.
Yeah, that Gallery is the most banned map for Falconhit in Season 4. Ballroom is the most banned map for Noob in Season 4. They're just playing their standard bans.
Yeah, so very, very comfort picks here. So let's take a look at the picks. Falconhit goes ahead. Picks Library, any 5 of 8. Pwndnoob. Courtyard, any 4 of 7. Falconhit says Balcony, any 2 of 3. Pwndnoob says High Rise, any 3 of 5. Veranda has, kind of stumbled over my words. Falconhit picks Veranda, any 5 of 8. And finally, Pwndnoob selects Modern, any 5 of 8. So we have, really big maps. I guess we have the 2 kind of smaller maps. We have Balcony, we have High Rise kind of in the middle to break things up. Yeah.
Veranda, the only one of those 4 picks, 6 picks rather, I should say, that were not already among the most picked for these 2 throughout this season. So they are just playing the maps they've been playing pretty much all year, yeah.
And especially the 2 main picks, Library and Courtyard. These are maps that these 2 have been playing against each other for a very long time.
Yeah, and on some of these maps, knowing what your opponent's going to do or in what order is a huge, huge part of actually winning them. So here's the question. When you know what someone's going to do, and they know you know, and you know they know you, do you still do it?
Oh, yes.
Well, let's find out.
Yes. Or no. I'm not sure which.
Half the time. I think we're ready to go.
Let's do it. Exactly half the time. That's right.
We will figure out just who does what and when as Pwndnoob steps in to the spy side of the library to start out the festivities. for the gold championship match. Falconhit on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Inconspicuous start from Pwndnoob also means a slow start.
Yeah, Pwndnoob is all about controlled bursts of progress. Wait and then rush, rush and then wait. This is what he likes to do. This is perfectly in keeping with how he normally does things.
And opening with a fingerprint is certainly going to give him lots of options moving forwards.
Yeah, that first fingerprint is a big one. Lets you plan out the rest of the game a lot better.
Pwndnoob stepping into his seduction target to get started on that mission. Certainly not something you want to wait too long on, as it can take a while. Hits the green test for 51%. I feel like we have seen far too few of those this evening.
Yeah, we've seen very, very few, actually. And if you're going to play that kind of pacing game where you're going to piece together missions, you're going to get fingerprints done, you're going to get seduced done like that, and you're going to space it out throughout the game, that getting that first green flirt helps tremendously.
Indeed it does, but still very slow from Pwndnoob so far. 2 minutes and 30 left on the clock. No completions yet, but 1 fingerprint and half a flirt.
Now, Pwndnoob, very big on framing AI, watching the party, look at his camera angle. He's keeping an eye on pretty much everything that's going on, so he's getting a little bit of progress done, but he's also mapping out who the possible suspects are.
Pwndnoob picking up the 2 flirt off the timer. Now stepping into statues on the side. Pick up the first pair of inspects and gets low lit for side statues!
Gets low lit, I think, probably for general inactivity, staying there for a very long time in that conversation, not doing much, and then also going to side statues means that this character would be committing to a second statue visit after all that idling.
Oh, man! Oh, man! Alright, Spy's low lit, stepping in for the contact here. Pwndnoob, I don't think knows. He probably thinks he's high lit.
He might not know, but remember, these two have been playing mind games with each other for 3 seasons. They know how they think. Noob loves to fish for lowlights with what he calls aggressive idling. And this is a perfect textbook example of aggressive idling.
It is, but when the later swings over you as soon as you step into statues like that,
yeah,
I don't think he knows. He's certainly getting stuff done. He's got the contact done. He's got the fingerprint done at the statues here. Now picking up the last inspect and just goes for the body block on the swap. Is not a good character for it. Falconhit was able to see the bottom corner of the statue, but it wasn't enough as Pwndnoob picks up the first game.
He got partial progress, and every time someone gets partial progress on missions, I always say the same thing, usually with the same turn of phrase, Tobo. I say the dominoes can fall quickly when that happens. This is an example of that. 3 missions done at 1 pad. Finish the fingerprint, finish the inspects, and you swap at the end, even though swap is one of the few things that will get you shot after the low light. But Noob was definitely going to finish. One of the biggest changes in his game from Season 3 to Season 4 is the plummeting of his timeout percentage. It was 12% last season, just 2.5% this season. He has been committed to getting missions done, and in this case, it works beautifully.
Does it ever? Pwndnoob starts things out very strong indeed as Falconhit gets ready to step in to the spy side of Library. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's all swaps tonight.
Yeah, and for the most part, it's working.
Yeah, I like the decision there too.
As do I, as Falconhit starts things out at the blue bookcase. Seduction target gets friendly and gives us a free flirt, but we red test him! Sorry, buddy.
Oh no. That's pretty bad. Pretty much the opposite of how Noob started, getting just 2 flirting, getting a green flirt at the beginning of the game. Now you have to maybe chase that ST, and you might need some extra time this game.
Stepping in to window to pick up that first flirt. But it's only 32%. Still in range for a 3 flirt, but just barely.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off to cover a bug. Comes off clean.
Some really good lowlights here. And a bad one.
And a bad one! Oh my! Okay, well, we're getting another flirt. 56% now. But also we're low lit.
That was so long after the banana bread that I don't think Falconhit can suspect he has a low light, though. It wasn't a split. That's the silver, or shall we say gold lining for Noob, is that he probably doesn't realize it.
Oh boy.
And he got the bug, too.
He still has to do a hardtail, though. Unless he can find the fingerprints, he still has to do a hardtail somewhere. It's going to be the only thing that will let Pwndnoob back into this game.
Well, I mentioned last game that one of the few ways you can lose a game as a low light is to swap when it's obvious or visible. But Falconhit doesn't know they're low lit, so they might do something aggressive like that anyway. If you know you're low lit, you might try to get into a reject chain and do a purloin or something like that, because they don't even bother to look at the fade normally on drink takes from low lights.
Well, side statue, 1 inspect. That's setting up for an inspect swap later in the game.
That's going to be risky. That's going to be really risky. Again, that's one of the ways you can lose as a low light.
Very surprised by the 1 cycle at the statue, not even going for the second inspect.
Yeah, because if you know you're going to inspect swap late, you know you're going to need a couple of cycles at least, and if maybe you don't hit any of those ATs, you could be cutting it a little close because you want to be able to block that statue as long as possible if that's how you're going to try to finish.
Falconhit steps in for the 3rd flirt. Hits the green test as well to finish it up in 3. That's 3 mission completions, 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah, pretty big deal with the time dwindling like that. That was no small feat hitting that green.
It really wasn't, and now Falconhit stepping over to the statues on the other end of the map,
Yep.
looking for the inspect swap. I'm pretty sure it is
Yep.
side statue.
Yep. If you're going to inspect swap, once you're down to the 2 missions, you want to get it done as soon as possible because you're going to be so suspicious just for even being there in the last minute, so he's right to waste no time.
Gets green tests on the inspects, hits the swap early, sets it down early,
He sees it!
gets shot before the countdown happens! And
Wow.
Pwndnoob finding a way to get the shot in off the low light. We called it as soon as he hit side statues early on.
Yeah, and look at this. Look at this replay. Here's the unheralded part of this. Look where he is on the pad. He is almost off the pad. He is to the far left. So when he puts the statue down, Noob gets a clear look at that swap. If he were in dead center in that pad and puts it down and waits a couple seconds, I don't see how Noob shoots there.
If he was in the middle of the pad, he wins that game.
I think so.
If he had taken 2 inspects on the first statue visit, that might have been enough as well.
Either one of those things, and yeah, we were talking all game. I kept saying, this is how you lose as a low-light swap. Well, I think he still would have gotten away with it, but that positioning on the pad.
Oh boy.
So
this
close.
set is already awesome, and we're only 2 games in. Pwndnoob stepping back into the spiral on library here, 2 games up after the spy gets low lit twice in a row. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Walt has a weird little stutter step at the beginning that Falconhit notices and highlights for.
Ooh! Oh! Look at this start! Immediately flirts, immediately walks away, immediately picks up a bug on the way across. That's a whole lot of progress, completely clean.
And look at this, Walt is also 3 at shelves. Falconhit is tunneling on Walt already. There was a stutter step at the beginning, and now look at this, not just 3 at shelves, but crammed together. Falconhit is looking right at Walt right now.
This is a beautiful situation for Pwndnoob. Up by 2, and in a good position to go up by 3 early on on the library. Stepping in to the briefcase, wins the race for the fingerprint. This is a fast start from Pwndnoob, and Falconhit has no idea.
And this is actually how he started the last game on Library. Noob was boots again. He got an early fingerprint. He got an early flirt. I think he had a bug attempt that didn't take even that game that we actually didn't end up commenting on. Noob is playing very similar to last game on the same map with the same character. With the same result here.
For the briefcase! Are you kidding me?
It's got to be the boots, I guess. It happens again.
What is happening in this set?
This is what happens.
This is not how Yomi works!
It's how it doesn't work, I'll say that much. And Walt, after all that, just could not get away from him after that weird stutter step and the weird cramming together at bookcases. Just tunneling too hard on him, shoots so early.
Did you just make like an NBA Jam reference in the middle of all that? Because I really appreciate that. I'm just gonna say. But yeah, we're 3 for 3 for Spy Low Lights. One win though, one sniper win out of that. So.
One sniper win, one of them brought back from the low light. And in this case, it didn't really matter. Was not world.
All right.
3 for 3 on Spy Lowlights, and 3 for 3 for Pwndnoob, as Falconhit steps into the spy side of the library, desperately trying to find a win. Let's see if Pwndnoob is able to sweep the first map from the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, it's like a 4-0 lead because, again, Noob just needs to tie. And remember, he's lost to Falconhit 2 straight finals, and it hasn't even been close. And now he's off to a 3-0 lead, and he's been low-lit in both games.
Pwndnoob is mad. We don't like Pwndnoob when he's mad.
I like him a lot when he's not mad, though.
This is true. Very
Good
nice
guy.
man.
Yeah, nice man.
Falconhit starting things off with a very unfortunately positioned flirt. Is in conversation with the double agent though, so he might be able to make a little bit of something off of it. Starting things off with the flirt white test for 24%.
Look, all he has to do is do something a spy would never do, and he'll get low lit. That's how this works. That's how you win this game.
Or just do something that Falconhit would never do.
Falconhit would never do, or Falconhit knows you would think what you would never do that he would never know that you would ever do. Yeah.
Right.
These two are playing a different game than the rest of us sometimes.
Contact comes off. 3 lowlights, 4, 5, 6 lowlights.
That's a lot to give up.
It's not easy to get good contacts off on this map in particular, but 6 lowlights.
Yeah, and it didn't cover anything. It didn't cover a hardtail. It was just a banana bread.
Falconhit on yellow bookcase here. Not in a great situation.
No, not a lot of progress here. But if he can get away clean with the book, suddenly he's in decent shape.
We shall see if he's gotten away with it or not, but for now, just stepping in to conversation with his seduction target, looking for this second flirt. 2 minutes left to play.
Now, in a normal set, 3-0 would be devastating, but this is a long, long set, so there is still time for Falconhit to come back. Noob cannot rest on his laurels here.
Only hits the white test on the flirt up to 58%. Book goes all the way back where it came from as well. Only a minute and 35 left on the clock. 1 completion and half a flirt. This is not looking good for Falconhit as far as mission completion goes. And side statue? That's not a low light.
No, it's the other one. But he walked that book all the way up and down the map. He took it for a little ride. That seems like a low light.
Pwndnoob, please.
He's probably thinking about it. Who would walk that yellow book all the way across the map and then just put it back? Who would do that? So much time.
This is so hard. How do you win this for Falconhit now? 1 minute to play, 1 mission completion. We've got 2 inspects and half a flirt. There's a low light.
That's how you do it. We're 4 for 4, everybody.
We are 4 for 4 Are you kidding me? Green purloin comes off, and a bad shot comes off. We're literally 4 for 4, and finally Falcon hits on the board, but my God, what is with all these lowlights?
Just don't play each other this much. It's crazy. It's just crazy. This is what happens when you play each other over and over and over 3 seasons. You get so back and forth in each other's heads that you lowlight the Spy 4 consecutive games.
And it doesn't even result in a draw. Like,
Yeah.
we're 3-1 right now. Pwndnoob is still out in front as we head in to Courtyard.
Yeah, the low lighting's crazy, but if you're Noob, you're perfectly happy with this result. You're in a good position. You got what you wanted out of that little set there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Pwndnoob starting things off on the Spy side of Courtyard, literally in bug range of the Ambassador. So we'll see how this starts out in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Walking the same direction does not right-click.
No, it's not worth it at this point. Not when you can set it up and take your time.
Indeed. Ambassador and Toby in the same spot. Pwndnoob nowhere near the seduction target as of yet. Slow start.
But plenty of options still. Hasn't flirted yet, though.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off. 1 highlight, 1 low light.
Not bad.
Banana bread.
Another contact to distract from the bug. Wrong arm bug coming off away from the Ambassador. We didn't want the wrong arm, but it looks like it's worked out.
Yeah, definitely the wrong arm in the sense that it's not the arm wanted. Very visible if you're looking at it, but functionally, anything the sniper isn't looking at is invisible. The second banana bread basically free in the sense that only 1 additional person was out of conversation. That was Wheels, though there is a cost because after the first one, it looks like Wheels had split.
Yeah, very, very nice little play from Pwndnoob. You'll trade a big highlight for a bug any day of the week on this map.
Absolutely.
51% on the flirt as well. Get highlight for a rote statue visit, but this is not enough to shoot for, I don't think.
I just don't see how. If you didn't catch the bug, you can't shoot. If you did, you've already shot. And that was it for Noob. Right there. The fact that Noob is still alive, he knows he's going to win this game.
Here's the thing. Only 1 minute and 10 left on the clock, so it's going to be a little bit tight, especially taking the time on this flirt. If we can hit a green test here, it's going to be huge, but we don't. It's a white test. 1 minute left to play. We can still timer flirt this if the seduction target cooperates.
Yeah, need him not to leave, but it's still going to be so close, and you're so nervous doing anything in the last 20 seconds like that is one of just a couple of highlights here. Probably not enough to take a desperation shot, but you know you were going to get away with it if you hit that green.
Yeah, this is tense. Takes a drink, staying around. 15 more seconds until the cooldown happens.
And you're really just staring at that seduction target saying, don't you dare move.
Also staring at the cooldown. There's the cooldown. There's the flirt. There's the mission win countdown. And there's no way a shot happens here, right?
No, the inspects were the big moment. And certainly maybe the first few seconds after the talk. That game was just the bug. The double banana bread. Not a lot of cost to it, only 1 additional low light. The bug itself not great, but it doesn't have to be if they're not looking at it.
Very nice play coming out of Pwndnoob. Spies are now 100% in games they haven't been low lit in.
Yes, and the first game without a low light for the Spy. I can't hear, but I'm applauding over here. I'm so pleased that we had a game where the Spy not only was not low lit, but was actually high lit. Actually a suspect for doing missions. Amazing.
Very strong play coming out of Pwndnoob from the Spy side of Courtyard. Let's see if Falconhit can match him for it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Falconhit starts things off by a slight chase of the seduction target, but winds up in a bit of an awkward position for the first flirt.
Well, yeah, really far across, and you kind of got to wonder if this is the kind of thing you see when you play someone over and over and over who catches you for odd things and maybe pairs your flirt sometimes. Maybe you think, I actually need to stand across from them sometimes.
It's only 23% on the first flirt, having not been able to hit the green test, but we'll see what Falconhit is able to do moving forward.
Look at those lowlights. Noob assuming real on the banana bread, and he assumes
man.
correctly.
Oh, man. That's not a great situation. Oh, that's also not a great situation for Falconhit. Did it get seen? It doesn't look like it yet.
And Noob indicating with his camera movement that he's very suspicious of red dress for a fingerprint there. Falconhit maybe trying to fish for another low light, actually, by going for the briefcase and then leaving when it's picked up.
We shall see. Falconhit wanted back in the conversation, it looked like, but didn't find a good spot where he thought there was one. Does pick up a highlight, interestingly enough.
I think Noob noticed what you did. It looked very much like a spy trying to find his way in, and then realized last second he couldn't.
Look at this little move. He's seen walking behind the pillar. The banana bread goes off, and then he's seen walking out from the pillar.
It's a good fake, but it's not covering for anything. It really feels like Falconhit has done 2 or 3 things specifically to try to get a low light here.
And it hasn't worked yet.
And Noob's lowlights are serving him very well right now. Only and the whole party left to watch. It's going to be so hard to get a hardtail in this kind of situation.
1 minute left to play. We still need a hardtail, and we only have 23% on the flirt. Just now stepping in for the second one.
But look at this. Notice how fluid those early banana bread fake low general bumped back up for a statue visit.
57% after the second flirt. We're going to need a green test on the last one, as well as a hardtail from somewhere.
Cowboy 2, more highlights. Those lowlights are not sticking. They're not sticky lowlights.
30 seconds to play. It has to be... Alright, well, we're going to do the flirt first. It's not green!
91. He's at the same statue General is just at. General went statue to statue, and this is the last one he was at. He's going to try to frame him.
Swap comes off. He's running away. Oh my god!
It works.
It works! The shot comes off!
Wow.
My god!
General got an idling low light 30 seconds into the game. He was in a conversation without an SDA for the first banana bread, but with one for the second, albeit off screen. He goes statue to statue late. Noob's lowlights, because they're so soft like that, they get bumped back up late. So there were a lot of highlights at the end of the game, actually. General was one of them. He got bumped back up, and the swap happens at the statue General was previously at, and the fade not zoomed in on, and partially obscured by Salmon, who was standing at the pad. I think that contributed to it. He thought it was a green, maybe because he was expecting one.
Let me talk through everything that happened at the end here, because this was insane.
There's a lot,
So much happened here. So General goes to statue to statue, ends up at that one. Falconhit goes to that statue, pretending to be pulled over for the green swap. Picks up the statue, swaps the statue. Now, Salmon Danger shows up. The statue gets swapped. Pwndnoob sees the statue get swapped and gets ready to shoot General. Then Falconhit, as the sniper is rotating away, cuts an animation, which is on camera, in order to try to make it look like Salmon's the one who did the swap, even though Pwndnoob thinks General's the one who did the swap.
I mean, I don't know about the last part or not. Your guess is as good as mine. Definitely trying to frame General, I think, at least initially. But that's just really, it's just really interesting. You know, that's one of the hazards of fluid lowlights, I think, is that you got to bring them back up late for someone who's willing to get missions done in a hurry. And if an AI presents you with that kind of opening, and you're a player like Falconhit who knows how Noob plays, how Noob thinks, because that's the kind of thing Noob would do if he were a spy. So it's the kind of thing you could potentially frame for, too.
That game was nuts.
Yeah, that is Falconhit's knowledge of his opponent, I think, taking a game that he was going to have a lot of trouble winning and finding a way to win it.
Either way, Pwndnoob still up by 2, stepping into the spy role once again in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Early green time ad.
Time ads are a big, big part of Noob's game. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them so far, and they're also a significant weakness of Falconhit, so expect him to keep hammering on these until it costs him.
Absolutely. Early flirt as well brings us up to 34%.
And there's some nice game design symmetry here in that the amount of time you get for a time ad is about the same as the amount of time you need a close timer flirt. So if you're Noob, you can just hang loose and try to get another one.
Contact comes off, lets off just the one low light, I think. Second low light comes off, but I don't know if it's for the same thing. That was a very good contact.
Yeah, he's also been bumping the other twin up and down, rethinking that low light there from the other twin. Very interesting. There could be a little confusion here.
Here's the timer flirt. This one a green, up to 85%, and still 2 minutes and 40 left to play.
If you're Noob, you really, really, really wanted to be done with that right there in one go after the time ad rather. Looks like he wants to get it done quick here.
Indeed, we've got the contact done. We've got the flirt getting ready to be done after a brief trip to the windows there. There's the flirtation finished up. Still 2 minutes and 15 left to play, and 2 mission completions.
Oh, it's so aggressive.
Now.
It's so aggressive. The Ambo was on screen at that side. Toby was on screen. That whole little flirt scenario played out so obviously right in front of Falconhit.
This is beautiful, though. No, never mind.
I think just too aggressive on the flirts. It was just so obvious. He wanted that green so bad, and when he didn't get it, he leaves and comes back so quick, and there's nothing else for Falconhit to look at. Possibly a little twin confusion, too. He was bumping the other one up and down. It's easy to lose track of them maybe at that point. Whatever it is, if it's a guess or not, he guesses right.
He guesses right indeed. Falconhit with a big win coming out of the sniper side there, and now on the final game of Courtyard has a chance to tie the match up at 4. From the spy side, let's see if he can do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, just a spy win on Courtyard, no big deal.
Spy wins on Courtyard are hard.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I'm being very, very sarcastic.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest maps in the game to get a spy win on. Early green purloin, though. This is one of the few ways you can make it happen. It's also a very easy way to just get shot very fast, but if you get a good reject chain, which it looks like we have.
Yeah. I don't think that was planned. He didn't request the drink, but it is great timing anyway. Characters were pathing around the ambo while the reject was taking place. A lot of stuff for Noob to be distracted by.
Didn't see the fade. I don't think he's noticed the list gone yet.
He sure has now, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Falconhit in a good position, though.
Well, here's the thing about casting a game like this. It's almost definitely over. And one of them has almost definitely won this game, but we don't know which of them it is. Either he's a massive suspect, or we got away clean. So one of these players is probably 90% to win this game, and it could be either of them.
You know, as a caster, this is pretty hard, but as a fan...
You're right.
Pretty awesome!
Well, we're gonna get...
off the drink, we've got a second flirt. Oh, briefcase! If he doesn't get shot now, I think Falconhit might just be winning this.
Yeah, no, you're dead on. Getting away with the fingerprints, that more or less tells us he's probably away clean for the purloin. The banana bread will serve as the final confirmation, but that's a big moment, actually. It looks like a small moment, but it's a huge one for Falconhit's chances. He is so close to tying this up after falling behind 3-0.
It's only 1 minute and 5 left to play, but look at this. The fingerprint's done. The purloin is done. 68% on the flirt. but we're at a bit of a distance here. We're going to need a green test to finish this up in 1. In conversation with the double agent as
Banana
well.
bread.
There's the green contact. Double agent steps away right after the fact. That's perfect.
The double agent splits. You
We
could not
hit the
ask.
green!
Could not ask for a better ending. He's going to win this, and he's going to win it with 0 statue visits on Courtyard.
Win it with style. Falconhit ties things up at 4.
Noob has been shooting a lot before mission completes 2. This time he holds his shot, which is not like him. He has a high civilian shot rate, and it costs him. And that is actually Falconhit's 3rd straight spy win.
Man, oh man, Pwndnoob came out the gates really strong. Shooting a spy low light, getting low light a couple of times himself, but Falconhit is pushing back. We're tied 4-4 at this point. Stepping in to balcony. Pwndnoob on the spy. Falconhit on the sniper to start out the festivities here in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And we're Smallman, and we've bugged!
Not visible at all. That is like a gallery
Red.
Smallman bug in the back of the gallery. You just have to imagine it happened. You can't see it. Thinking about
And the
shooting, though.
contact. It's not in time! He steps away! The dance! Oh my god! Falconhit almost makes it happen, but Pwndnoob slips away at the last second and claims the win.
Not the full dance, just a little 2-step, really.
My neighbor probably thinks I'm crazy because I was laughing pretty hard at that one.
Look at this! Here's the thing. He completely missed the initial bug, but look at the positioning. He is completely hidden by Salmon Danger right next to the ambassador. As soon as Falconhit realizes he's there, alarm bells start going off.
Yeah, he thinks this is so like Noob, especially on something like Balcony. Just boom, boom. I have to decide right now if I'm going to shoot. Just a little bit of movement changes it after Smallman effectively bugs the ambassador's, I don't know, calf?
And that little juke from Pwndnoob is able to net him the win on that
20
game.
seconds is how long that took. That was 20 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
I have played a handful of quicker balcony games in my day, but not many, and certainly not in a competitive setting like this.
Man, oh man. Missions complete after 10 seconds of game time. Falconhit just got burned as he steps into the spy side of balcony. Pwndnoob on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
That's such a difficult position for the sniper because it's so easy to shoot for a phantom bug. Frankly, it's actually a decent strategy if someone like that is next to the Amba to banana bread early in the game, because the earliness of the banana bread is one of the things that tips you off about the bug.
Early talk without the seduce, and the seduce talk coming in right afterwards for 19%.
This is a
This
really
is a-
bad start. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not good. This is not how you good on balcony.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off, lets off a low light as well. Oh!
It's a bug. He thinks he bugged. Look at this. He comes out of his zoom in balcony, and the only thing he sees is the general took a weird path towards Amba and is now walking away.
Yeah.
Just as he's zooming back out. He's just a little worried about that. And that is Falconhit's 4th straight spy win now.
Wow.
4 spy wins. By the way, 4 spy wins, and we're tied? He just gave up 4 spy wins in a row, and he's still tied. How is Noob not down bigger after giving up 4 straight spy wins? Because he's winning on spy a bunch of times.
My God, this set
Let me read you some
is
stats real quick.
Incredible.
Here's why this is not that weird. This is in Diamond. This just doesn't happen. I think in any other division, actually, it doesn't ever happen. With any 2 other players, maybe it doesn't happen. But Falconhit this year in gold won 54% of his spy games.
Jesus.
Noob won 60% of his. This is how these two do things.
Jesus.
Their sniper stats a little lower. Falconhit just 57% on sniper. Noob's still 75% though, which is why he's the #1 seed in gold this year. But they win a lot of freaking spy games, and they win a lot of freaking spy games against each other. In particular, you're seeing it here tonight.
Man, oh man, it's tied 5-5. This is incredible. But now we get to see something in a little bit of a different vein. We get to see High Rise any 3 of 5. So get ready for a couple of very slow spy games with a couple of very antsy sniper shots. Let's see how this turns out and who it turns out in favor of. Pwndnoob starting things off on the spy roll in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bit of a long AI control for Pwndnoob here.
And Pwndnoob has no mission wins on High Rise as spy this year, but he has gotten 2 civilian shot.
Luckily, he's gotten plenty of spy wins against Falconhit.
Yes.
34% off the first flirt. Still 3 minutes left to play. There's a lot of time to work with on this map.
Yeah, welcome to High Rise. We're doing nothing but watching the party for a good minute at the start of the game is actually a pretty sound strategy.
Absolutely.
On 4-8 maps or 5-8 maps, the question is, did they? On maps like High Rise, it's more, would they?
Yeah. Which certainly plays into a match between these two gentlemen.
And if Noob is watching the party, if he's watching the party, and I know he is, he sees small statues.
Noob goes for a quick little flirt at the green bookcase and hits a green. Sets up to 71% on the flirt. So a good position there, 2 minutes left to play. Not any other progress yet, but we've still got time to work with.
He's still coming to decisions about the viability of framing right now. He sees Smallman going to bookshelves and he's thinking, this is a lot of wasted time for someone I maybe was going to think about framing. And now, going to statues again after center statues. Nope, that's not good. That's not good for framing purposes at all.
Yeah. Not able to hit the difficult fingerprint on the drink there.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off.
Yeah, and I think he figures...
framing Smallman at this point.
I think at that point he understood it was a lost cause. Normally you wouldn't want to let him off like that, especially with a statue visit, but it's just not a big cost anymore. He's just not acting like a spy.
Minute and 15 left on the clock. It's going to be one flirt and something else. What's it going to be?
Well, Noob doesn't usually time out. I mentioned that his timeout rate last year was about 12%. This year, 2.5%. At a certain point, usually with about a minute left, he's going to make the judgment that no one else is going to get shot, and he'll try to find a way to finish.
Keep in mind, with the flirt getting done here, we still need one more mission. It's got to be either a bug or an inspect at this point. Purloin not available. Swap not available. Yep. Microfilm not available.
He's going to do something, though. He's only timed out once this season, and that was against Sharper, but it was on High Rise.
Wrong arm on the way around the back side, but Falconhit sees it.
It's a good bug. The arm is only slightly visible. It's the kind of thing you might get away with if you're not already done in the sniper's watching closely, but Falconhit was.
Zoomed in on something else. It was just barely. You see the arm just barely sort of coming along the outside of the binoculars there. It's not an easy bug to see, but it was enough.
Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good bug. I think it's a good bug, and it's just to Falconhit's credit that, you know, he saw what was being set up there, and he understood that the ambassador was vulnerable to that character in particular, and was ready for it.
Falconhit up now 6-5, stepping into the spy side, which is on a run-on. Pwndnoob on the sniper, looking to finally shut down Falconhit spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only spy game that Falconhit didn't win was his first one where he got low lit.
Correct. Yes.
What is happening in this set? Falconhit starting things off at center statues. Starting things off, mind you, at center statues.
Yeah, I think this is more mind game stuff. It's who would do that? Who would get that out of the way? Who would make themselves top suspect, in terms of mission completion at least, right away like that?
One person in between Falconhit and his seduction target, but his seduction
Banana
target
bread.
bails before we're able to get the flirt off. Contact comes off.
Pretty
That's
good.
off another low light. It's down to 4. Sorry, Alice is still there, but not.
Yep. But
highly.
can he really shoot for a couple of flirts here? That's the question.
3 flirts in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's see how Pwndnoob and Falconhit play this. Oh my!
That's how.
Oh my! The
No
bug
movement.
comes off, and Falconhit's reign of terror on the spy side continues. Now up 7-5.
5th straight spy win for Falconhit, and there's a reason this works. It's so counterintuitive to go to center statues early, and then bug of all things. You're much more likely to dismiss that little arm hitch. You can check it out on the replay. That little arm hitch at the end of the walk, given that if that's the spy, they already know they're a threat to finish, and it's probably a little too early for flirt to be done. Also worth noting that Noob did shoot on balcony for what we think was probably a phantom bug. So maybe a little loath to do the same here in a situation where a bug seems pretty unlikely. That's how crazy this match is. Noob has dropped 5 straight sniper games, and he's still in it.
That was such a good bug, though.
It was, yeah. There's a little arm hitch there. Her hand kind of goes out and then goes back and snaps back at the end. Actually, a very weak bug by most accounts, and that probably feeds into it too. Who would go to center statues early on high rise like that? Who would bug afterwards, and who would bug with teal?
Wow. This is a really crazy match. Like, it is, by all accounts, effectively impossible to win a set giving up this many spy games. But Pwndnoob, he may be down, but he is very much still in this heading in to Veranda, with Pwndnoob on the spy, needing a game win here. Falconhit on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And if you thought these two got up to some crazy stuff as spy before, imagine what they're going to do with Veranda.
No kidding. Starting things out at a window with a quick green time ad to open up the game.
Yeah, expect to see these introduced more and more. Again, they're a big part of Noob's game. They're a weakness on Falconhit's side. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them, but Veranda's a great place to try to exploit that.
51% on the first flirt as well. This is a strong start from Pwndnoob. Goes for a bit of a shot to nothing on the bug attempt there. It was basically free. Didn't wind up taking, but not a big deal.
Yeah, the bug from that conversation behind the back is pretty much never seen on Veranda unless the sniper is rotated to the left or specifically looking for it already, but that would mean they're not looking at a dozen other things, so we see a lot of those bugs on Veranda not take, but also not be seen.
Pwndnoob really taking the time he gained from that time ad here, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible, which is a good use of a time ad.
Yeah, and it fits his play style anyway. Get the lay of the land, see who the early suspects are, maybe get a flirt in while you're at it, something like that, and then you have some options late in the game. Option to finish or not, and if you don't, who are you going to try to frame? Or you could just get low lit.
Yeah, that's always an option. Certainly worked on Library.
Yeah, and he's using that time at least.
Possible purloin setup, not going for it. Man, Pwndnoob is really just dedicated to hanging out, as just now the time ad running out as Pwndnoob steps away from this conversation.
Banana bread.
Picks up the contact along the side there. 2 lowlights.
3 possible lowlights.
Assuming real.
And look at this, SDA's in 3 of the 4 conversations, though, so even assuming real, he'd only get to knock out 5 in the 4th conversation. There were 3 lowlights there, and the most obvious one, front and center, was Wheels, who got missed.
Wow.
He was busy doing a fingerprint at the time.
Isn't that an interesting situation. Pwndnoob pulls out a blue book. Another time ad, this time at the side windows here. Another time ad, this one green. A third one? Heck yes!
Oh, God. You know, you've heard the phrase silly on stilts? Well, stilts aren't high enough. This is silly on a space elevator. This is really silly.
Back up to 4 minutes and 10. Blue microfilm in pocket, and the book gets put away like nothing ever happened.
And we have more time than when we started this game.
My God. Pwndnoob is going to idle so hard.
Just as a point of reference, we are about 200 seconds in, so we're about 3 minutes into this game.
Oh, God.
And we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Oh, we got Lola!
Oh, we got a Lola!
And we
All right, we did
another
it. We're back to
low-light.
normal, everyone. I was wondering what
Here's what he does. He paths behind the tiny conversation near the French doors. He winds around Wheels doing another briefcase, by the way, still not low lit, and then bounces off the Amba and changes direction. That earns him the low light. He worked for that.
He did. It was a very, very good path, a very AI-like path, and a very good bounce coming back around. Another flirt comes off for 85%, but with 3 minutes left to play still, there is no way Pwndnoob times this out.
I mean, I hope not. If he does, I'm going to have to quit playing.
Keep in mind, we've had lowlights get shot before. If you get a bad swap or a bad purloin, that can spell disaster. The flirt is done. We've got blue microfilm in pocket. This is looking very good for Pwndnoob.
Yeah, it is. There are a few highlights left, and Falconhit seems very focused on them. One of them, of course, is Wheels, who has done 2 briefcases now, too. And I remind you again, could have been low-lit. He was front and center of the map when the banana bread went off, but did not get low-lit for it.
Pwndnoob stepping into green bookcase here. Lots and lots of cover from the conversation. Getting a fingerprint off the book as well. Falconhit paying a lot of attention though, so didn't have a good opportunity to fingerprint. Pulls out the book. Wheels gets shot. Guess who? Could have been low-lit, as you were saying, but instead takes a bullet, and Pwndnoob is back on the board.
Yeah, check out that replay. Wheels is right there, right in the front, holding a briefcase, so you know he didn't just split or anything. He picked it up recently by the front set of statues when the banana bread goes off. He's the only one of the 3 possible lowlights who gets missed, and he gets shot for a second statue visit late. He also did another briefcase in the intervening time. That is big, and I have to point out, by the way, that on the beta forums, Noob's signature quote is a quote from himself, and here it is. Let me read it to you. SpyParty is a game where one player is a spy trying to complete missions of sleuth, and another player shoots the guy in the wheelchair. He totally predicted it, and we now have 10 spy wins in 13 games.
It should also be noted that that game lasted basically 5 minutes exactly, 300.88 seconds at the shot. And at the shot, there was about 2 minutes left. So that was shaping up to potentially be a 7-minute long veranda game, almost twice as long as on the initial clock.
Yeah. Shot was going to come off eventually. The question is, who would it have come off on if he'd gotten that low light?
All right. Falconhit is still in the driver's seat as he steps into the spiral here, but Pwndnoob on the sniper is in position to tie things up at 7 to give himself 2 match points. Let's see how this goes as Falconhit plays Smallman in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's not quite gallery Smallman, but veranda, the next craziest thing. A lot of shenanigans possible.
Yeah. Veranda is a very good map to be playing Smallman on.
We're in our 14th game, and we are awaiting, potentially, just our 4th sniper win.
32% on the first flirt. That's fine. That's still in 3 flirt range.
Banana bread.
Banana split comes off, stepping all the way over to the window here.
There were 5 people out of conversation as potential lowlights, but one of them was already low lit. I'm going to say that's about average for Veranda.
Sidles in closer to the window, looking for what might be a purloin, and it is indeed trying to be as inconspicuous about it as possible. Hits the green on the purloin.
A green purloin as Smallman at the window with the obstructed view. Falconhit might as well have an invisibility cloak on.
Indeed. Just the one inspect at statues, though.
But he's Smallman. If
Yeah.
he's anywhere near missions going down, it's suspicious.
This is very true.
He did zoom in. Pwndnoob did zoom in on the tray shortly after, but the column obscured it. I don't know if he's seen it yet.
Wow. 82% on the flirt now, hitting the green test, so no more worries about that, to be sure.
Oh, did you see that camera shake? He's just seen the list and he freaked out. He missed it by, I think, 40 to 50 seconds.
And he knows. He knows that Pwndnoob has completely gotten... Sorry, Falconhit has completely gotten the list by him, so he's not going to do anything rash. And he's just going to be very nervous moving forward. And when you're nervous, you shoot Smallman. Or
That's right.
Wheels, apparently.
Yeah, it's like a Hail Mary shot. Someone's at statues in the last minute. Well, I'm behind. Maybe I shoot them. I know I'm behind on Veranda. Maybe I shoot Smallman.
Smallman getting a flirt finished up from the back of the conversation there, stepping into statues once more to finish up the inspects. Not at the end of the game, though. Still 1:30 left to play, so not in panic shot territory.
Are we in inspect swap territory, though? That's the question.
May well be. Here's the inspect. The shot comes off! It was in panic shot territory after the purloin got shown, and Smallman takes the bullet. It's 7-7, and Pwndnoob is on match point.
That is a big, big deal. He could have gone into this last map set needing to sweep them. Instead, he goes into the final map, Modern, which we'll talk about more in a second here, needing just one win to win this set. Again, he wins with a tie. That is a big, big win. He completely missed that purloin. If you check the log, 40 seconds between the time when it goes off and that crazy shake. He missed it completely. And still finds the shot based on a late statue visit.
And as you were saying at the beginning of the match, these two players have a long and storied history, but until now, Falconhit has really had Pwndnoob's number in the championship games.
Yeah, he's beat him twice. Noob is the number 1 seed. He loses to Falconhit 9-4, not even really close. Then next season, he's not the number 1 seed, but he gets to take him on again. He wins his promotion match, so he gets to stay with him and ascend with him up the SCL ladder. Loses again, 8-3, still by 5 wins, still not close. Wins another promotion match, keeps following him, earns the right, number 1 seed again this time, to play him for the 3rd consecutive year and take out the frustration on all those losses. He's already come closer than in either of those 2 lopsided losses the past 2 seasons. So many other tournaments where he's finished second, and he's so close. He needs just 1 out of 2 here on Modern to take it.
And we're starting things
Can we
out.
call that camera thing the cocktail shaker?
You cut out before I heard the
can
pun.
we call it the cocktail shaker?
I thought we were calling it the Elvis
The
shake.
Elvis shake?
Named after Elvis. Well, Magician does it too. I think several frustrated snipers have a claim to this one. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think Elvis really pioneered it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yes. A breakthrough in sniper cam shaking technology.
Sniper cam tech, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that brings us
All
to
right.
Modern,
So close here.
the largest map in the game.
Yeah.
Pwndnoob.
And by the way, one of the most lopsided maps, I've been running the Season 4 numbers here in SCL, and Modern, with a 63% sniper win rate, is actually the most sniper-favored map in all of SCL.
Well, lopsided in either direction helps Pwndnoob out in this case.
Exactly.
But you'd much rather have it be spy lopsided because that's where you're starting. You don't want that stress. But here we go. Pwndnoob starting things off on the spy, looking for a win. Falconhit looking to stay alive for just a little bit longer. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Again, either win, and Pwndnoob takes gold. And finally vanquishes Falconhit on his 3rd try.
Oh man! This is getting really crazy.
The really
Pwndnoob
funny
starting-
part is that whoever loses could still win the promotion match, and they could follow each other up to Platinum and do this all again next year. And frankly, given the way they've both played, I think either one of them would be a favorite to do just that.
I would love to see it happen, have this storyline continue. Pwndnoob starting things out really slow, though. We're coming up to a minute in now, and all we have is a green book in hand.
Does have a fingerprint off it, that's something, but you're right, it's not a lot.
Now hitting 3 minutes left to play. Seduction target. I thought she was going to be friendly, but I guess not.
No, you're going to have to chase if you want to get anything done here. You really can't afford to wait around.
Well, it looks like he's stepping in for the contact. Lots of people in conversation, so it's not a bad time for it, but lots of people outside conversation as well.
Oh, no, look at this.
Oh,
There's
man.
There's a moment after he enters where it looks like nobody's talking. Hair's talking animation at the very end from behind can look kind of subtle. I think he phantomed a no talk.
That's terrible for Pwndnoob. The contact comes off.
We've talked about this before. When you look over and don't see anyone talking for a moment, you don't know when it started because you weren't looking there before. Easy to imagine it's been going on.
Oh man, this
Time
is a
at
bad
corner.
situation. Time at corner, hits the green test. Another one, shot comes off. Last game. This
Wow.
is what it all comes down to. Pwndnoob takes a bullet, but still has a chance to take the win. If Pwndnoob can find it on the sniper side. God damn it, why does it have to come down?
Why does it have to come down to this?
Again?
Well, let's talk about that last game just real quick. So he thinks, sees maybe there's a no talk there, maybe there's not. Then the banana bread words, that's going to feel like confirmation, which is a little bit of bad luck for Noob. Then Noob goes and does another one of those time ads, which he's been exploiting so shamelessly, and Falconhit, when he really needs to, finally catches him on one. And just in time to save his season and save his chances of winning gold. We are going into the 16th game here, and the nice thing about not having a tiebreaker here, by using the seeding as a tiebreaker, is that it can produce situations like this where instead of someone needing a game to force a tiebreak, you literally play one game for the whole thing. Pwndnoob this season has played 95 games of SpyParty and SCL. Falconhit has played 114, and now both of them play one game to claim gold. This is the golden game.
Oh my god. Why do you do this to me, guys?
Yeah, they're very inconsiderate, these two, playing this way. And again, I mentioned Modern, 63% win rate for snipers. That's where you want to be playing this game. So Noob has the advantage. 3 years of frustration coming to a head. One game to finally break the spell.
If Pwndnoob can find the win here, he'll finally be able to put this demon to bed. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Falcon hit his queen, same as Noob, the old monarchical runback.
I love it. It all comes down to this. Starting things off in an innocent conversation with nothing to do but catch your breath.
And we might get a hint early on, based on Falconhit's behavior, as to whether or not he wants to get missions done or if he's going to scope out frame targets.
We shall see. Falconhit stepping out, looking for his first flirt with the Bling Twin here. It's a green test for 48%. If it was just a little bit closer, we could still be in 2-flirt range. But it was not meant to be.
And on a map like Modern with a slow character, that 1% looms large.
It really does. If you could hit a 2-flirt here, you would be so happy. No longer on the table, though, as Falconhit steps out towards the statues, looking for a first set of inspects.
And I think he's going to try to split the difference. I like this. You keep your options open on the frame. You start slow. You aggressively idle, but you get a little bit of mission progress done too. So if you need to rush something late, you can.
Only one inspect. We've had a lot of these this set, and it's very confusing to me. Time ad comes off the front windows on a green test here.
Right after Cowboy checked his watch, too. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for frame targets, there's one right there. Rocker was at Windows 2, but I don't think she checked her watch around the same time.
Lots of potential frame targets, but not a huge amount of progress
And
for
the undergrad.
Falconhit. Fake contact coming off. It looked like the double agent was in conversation. Unfortunately, doing briefcase.
Yeah, that's rough. 6 possible lowlights, and by the way, the banana bread would not have been real for your little time ad, buddy, Cowboy.
This is true. Stepping into conversation here with the seduction target. So, a bit too much of a distance. We wouldn't have been able to get the 3 flirt anyways, so being at a distance here is fine. Gets a white test up to 74%.
Yeah, this is starting to look like the standard modern frame game. You do the banana bread, you purloin, and he's even sprung for the optional time ad to add to the paranoia.
Absolutely. Hasn't been highlight yet either. 2 minutes left on the clock. I'm so nervous, Track.
Falconhit is going to put him to the test for sure. Whoa, safety off over Sari's head. She was in the
Oh,
spy
boy.
time ad corner, wasn't she? And a time ad had taken place earlier. Also, the meta of picking a slow character on a big map, there's a lot of counterintuitive Yomi stuff there.
Falconhit just coming off. Oh, the safety went off. I'm sorry again.
I think it's all mind games. He's like, would he really do this?
Falconhit getting ready to send Cowboy for a purloin.
It looks like he's aware of who was with him with the time ad there. Knows he has a highlight.
There's the delegate. Bar is basically empty, so this is going to come off. One minute to play.
This is
If
a big
Pwndnoob
moment.
Can hold on to his shot.
If he doesn't shoot in the next 10 seconds, he has a really good chance of winning. This is a big moment. He hasn't shot yet.
He hasn't shot yet. The flirt's come off. Flirt is done at this point, but with only 40 seconds left to play, and still 3 missions needing to get done. How does Falconhit win this? Pwndnoob is still freaking out here.
He doesn't know who to shoot, but he knows the purloin wasn't the last mission at least, but Falconhit knows it hasn't worked too. Desperation banana bread coming up.
Banana bread.
Fake contact.
Cowboy's in with an SDA this time though.
Orange, sorry's out of conversation. 15 seconds. No shot coming off yet.
Falconhit knows it doesn't work. It has not worked. The gambit has not worked.
Desperation time ad. Pwndnoob with the patience. It's gonna be a 0-second time ad. It's a white test though.
It's down to 2. Waltz at Windows. He's gonna highlight them both and wait it out. He did it. He's held the shot.
Oh my god. I think Pwndnoob might have just done it.
He might have done it so close. He's gotta not screw this up now.
There were so many times when I thought Pwndnoob was going to pull the trigger, but he hasn't done it yet. And now he is in prime position to take this game. Falconhit just trying to get someone else shot, but he gets himself the bullet. And Pwndnoob makes it happen after 3 years.
Finally beats Falconhit in an SCL final after losing 2 in a row, both of them lopsided. He does it by the narrowest of margins. The number 1 seed is the difference, tying 8-8. Amba walking away from bar there. Maybe Noob is worried there's a fingerprint, or maybe after all this time, he's just had enough and just needs for it to be over.
Oh my god, could you have asked for a better pair of games? This was incredible.
It was the golden game, and Noob takes home the gold in gold. We get 10 spy wins in 13 games to start off, and then 3 straight spies shot to end it.
I want to...
And the last
Here's
game...
to doing it one more time in Platinum.
Here's to it one more time in Platinum. I hope they meet there again. And then in that final game, civilian shots, it's won by Noob holding.
Yeah. I just want to point out that last time ad happened with exactly 1 second remaining.
Jesus.
Cutting it close. And if you're Falconhit, you got to tip your cap. This is a guy you've been besting and playing to draws in every other match, over and over again. You've been basically dead even, but you've come out ahead in the big matches. Noob finally gets one over on him. Hard to be mad. They both played incredible. All those spy low lights. How many did we end up getting? 6,
5,
7?
actually.
Something
Just
like
5.
that? Only 5? Oh, that's...
Well, it's more than, basically every other SCL match. One of those...
Probably combined,
one of those was a sniper win, though. That one on Library with the notice swap at the end.
Yep, and when you look at these razor-thin margins, I want to say that match was the difference, but they were all the difference. That's what happens when it's this close.
Yeah, so that brings... Oh my gosh. All right, I need to calm down. I probably shouldn't have been drinking coffee during this whole time.
Oh my god.
Well, it wasn't exciting enough for you already. Wow.
So that brings us to the end of the cast this week. Tobo, Track, thank you so much for casting. Anything you want to mention, plug, whatever?
Yeah, go for it, Taboshi. You go first.
You can find me on Twitter at ToboTV, mostly talking about when I am casting and also occasionally streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Taboshi.
You can find me at twitch.tv/SpyPartyFans, occasionally streaming, SpyPartyFans.com, where there is statistical analysis. And an article, our most recent article, is by the victorious Pwndnoob. It's called On Aggressive Idling, and it's about how to get all those spy lowlights, actually, specifically about that. So he's really demonstrating what he's been writing about here in this very set, and also Spy Party Fans on Twitter. And just a big thanks to both these competitors. I love the way they play each other. I love the crazy meta they built up. I love the storyline. I love how close this match was. I hope we get to see it again next season.
Yep, and I have been your host, Lieutenant Hummus. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, all that garbage, at LT Hummus. And the game has been and continues to be Spy Party. You can get it for $25 on Steam. And the website by link will be coming back soon. Get in on the beta, the early access. Come play with us. We're a great community. We'll help show you the ropes. And hey, pretty soon, maybe you will be featured on this stream in the next season of SCL. On behalf of my casters, Taboshi and Warning Track, thank you all for watching. We will see you next week. Good night.